Hi there everyone, hope you're all having a good Monday so far. Alright, here we are with the reading for the week ahead. I'm going to be using this beautiful deck of cards called the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck, and this is by Matt Hughes. This is a beautiful deck of cards if you love Art Nouveau, which I am definitely a fan of. So I really enjoy them. It took me a while to get them and to choose between some others, but I really enjoy this particular deck of cards. Alright, so if you're new here, you will want to know what is this about, and what I usually do for the week ahead is I ask what to expect for the week ahead, what are the energies around us, and what is most important for us to know. So it might give you some guidance on a current situation you're dealing with, or it might maybe give you a heads up for a particular situation that's coming up, but we kind of see what's most important for us to know right now and what Spirit wants to share with us. All right, so let's see. Just give it a good shuffle. All right, so I'm going to ask what is most important for us to know right now and what the energies are around us for this week. Can I please just ask for one card or two cards that just give the general energy of the week ahead? Two, okay. I do try and move the cards away from the microphone when I shuffle, so I'm sorry if I deafen you, but I do try to move them away. Four of Cups. And Ace of Swords. Okay, there is this beautiful gold leaf on these cards, so you can't always see it too well. Let me just show you there. Ace of Swords, Four of Cups. Okay, Ace of Swords and Four of Cups. This is definitely something that is bringing this initiating kind of movement, because swords are about initiation, acceleration, movement, something that is starting, or there's ignition. Okay, that's the word that I'm hearing. It's like ignition. Something is being started up, moved forward. There's going to be action and a lot of busyness around us this month, this week, for particular areas of our lives. This is not about I'm thinking about doing it. It's not about I just got an idea about it. This is about practical application in this week. All right. It's also about sometimes feeling that certain things are not going to be as good as we think they are, or we've kind of lost our motivation for certain things, or we're concerned about how something's going to turn out, or if it's even going to turn out. But the Four of Cups is this energy of saying to us, we might feel like this is not going to happen, or I'm really underwhelmed by the current situation or how things are going for me, and there might be this surprise that comes up at the end. Okay, so it's about something coming in that can give us discontent, or we actually sometimes even become apathetic towards something. We really just don't care anymore about a particular situation. But this is now a time where we need to be in a time of meditation about certain things. And you don't literally have to be sitting like this guy, but it's like, give this some thought, okay? Keep things in perspective. Don't allow yourself to get too frustrated or depressed by a particular situation, because it's not necessarily how it's going to end, okay? So it's about continuing to do what you're doing in a certain direction, even if you feel like you're not really going to get the results you want, or you don't really want to do whatever it is that you need to do this week. It could be a task, it could be a chore, it could be a project you're working on and you've just like lost interest in it. It's asking you basically to continue with this. Okay. Do it, see it through. All right. What else do we need to know about this situation? Is there anything else that comes through, please? Whoa, there we go. Knight of Pentacles. I've bent him a little bit, just a sec. Beautiful card. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles is about the pursuit of happiness in essence. Okay, it's about wanting things to change in a positive direction. Knights always show something that's about to change, energy going out and energy coming in. It's usually a long-term condition as well. And this changes in the physical 3D. Okay, when we see pentacles like this is stuff happening in the physical 3D, in your reality. I feel like if there has been stuff from the past that needs dealing with here, it's like this is moving forward and pursuing your happiness without too much heaviness. Okay, he looks like he's looking towards the past, but he's actually quite content with what he's done, or whatever lessons he's learned, situations he's left behind him, whatever the case is. He's content with how things have been, and now he wants to move forward and enjoy the simple things in life, do things that he enjoys doing. And I think that that's actually wonderful. It's a beautiful depiction as well. I do feel like this could be things to do with your roots or your family. This is definitely coming up for me. This reading resonates quite well for me on certain levels. But when I see the tree like this, I feel like that might have something to do with heritage, family tree. And also I feel that there's some kind of karmic shift for some of you. Like there's some karma that needed to be sorted out, or coming to a close of a particular chapter in your life, because he does really denote this change, and you're moving towards a happier atmosphere. So I think that that's really great. So even if you are feeling this apathy, you're feeling this boredom or this frustration or this depression around a particular situation, not wanting to continue with it, or having to do something that you don't necessarily want to do, I feel that eventually this is actually going to be something that pays off. Okay, because he really is about you seeking happiness for yourself and finding that. Okay, it's about being efficient, it's about being practical, it's about being ambitious. And when I feel like ambition, when I mention ambition, it's like your ambition is renewed from this situation. You don't feel so apathetic or disinterested, but it's like there's going to be some kind of change here. Like I said, nights show a major change, okay? And it's a long-term condition usually that suddenly changes, and this brings this different kind of energy, which is quite lovely. All right, let me see if I can get any action cards for us. When I do a reading, I always like to provide action cards. So more so in the personal readings that I do, because I don't feel like I should just tell a client, well, this is your situation. That's not productive. You already know what your situation is 99% of the time. So I try to work on what can I give you in terms of action cards that are going to be constructive in the situation. Okay, I give you something to work with. So let's see, what action can we take this week that will be helpful, please? Can we have some action cards? Oh, wow, okay. Death card. Let me show you properly. The death card shows a symbolic death. It says, please accept this death in whatever way it comes, in whatever way, shape, or form. Let spirit help you to close the chapters and bring a symbolic death to the situation, because it's going to be for your highest good. A lot of the time it takes 3 to 6 months for this to kind of take effect, for us to really see the changes. But this is about allowing certain things to be done with, to die off, so that they can be replaced by something new. Just if you think of the analogy of a flower dying off, like a rose, it needs to die off. It needs that little dry bloom to fall off in order for it to have another bloom in its place. Okay, accept the symbolic death in whatever way, shape, or form it comes. If you are experiencing literal deaths, people crossing over in your life, this is also asking us to be in a place of acceptance, because it's the best thing for the situation. Okay. All right. Can we have like 2 more action cards, please? Oh, there we go. Yes, you can. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. I'm just laying them over the Knight of Pentacles, because he is needing to be squashed up a little bit. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. So I think that what's coming up here is, when we see 7 of Pentacles, it talks about waiting for something. So I feel like this is a long process that you've been going through. It might be very well why there is this apathy or this frustration or this depression that has come about, because we're so frustrated by this particular situation. And so it feels like, almost to the point where you're giving up and you're like, oh, is this ever going to happen? I'm kind of not invested in it anymore, or actually thinking this is going to make a difference. The Queen of Pentacles says to us, we need to get clear on what we want to achieve out of this. Okay. We also need to be a lot more assertive. If there were situations before where we would have buckled and bent and said, oh, okay, let me just, push it aside or not deal with it today, or let it tick over, or let that behavior, you know, be acceptable, whatever it is. This is saying make sure that you recognize this particular situation as an opportunity to press through it if it's a difficult situation, or to make changes in how you respond to it, because that's going to be very important. And you need to be following your own star, following your own path. Okay. It might be a bit, more work to go, or more time to pass, but you definitely are making the right choices, and you need to continue to do that. Okay, because once you do that, things work out faster and they work out better than we think. And where we feel like this is an epic thing to take on, it's so tedious and arduous, it actually becomes a lot easier. So that's something very important to bear in mind. Change the way you dealt with things, especially if you were a bit of a pushover in a previous situation, or you decided to just leave it and not deal with it today. It's time to be more assertive and really get clear about what you're doing. All right. At the same time, this is saying don't take on more than you should and say, okay, now I must have this radical change and I'm going to push forward and do silly things. If you are, for instance, wanting to change something or do something or move home or start a business, don't get yourself in over your head. Okay, you definitely have what it takes to get yourself out of the situation, to break this like repetitive cycle, because this is what the death card's about as well. But you might need a bit of help, or you need to maybe work in a group situation. Don't take everything on by yourself, and have that patience. Okay, things that we start don't just change overnight, and this is exactly what this lesson here is. But once we initiate the change and participate in the change, that's when things start ticking over. Because if you're determined to do it and you are willing to have that persistence and patience and perseverance, that's when you can succeed. Okay, and it's saying if you don't know how you're going to be moving forward right now, there will be ideas and certain elements that come through that are going to help you and facilitate this. Okay, so overall, quite a interesting and informative week. I just want to see, what is the card at the bottom of the deck? Oh, okay. The Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is an interesting card. In this particular depiction, it's this person holding, let me just show you properly. Sorry, I had the deck of cards in my other hand. This person kind of pulling a mask off, and there is the death again. I've had this for some clients this week, that they got the death card and they got this person holding the skull. So I feel like this symbolic death, there's going to be a lot of masks coming off and things revealed. Maybe you even learn things about yourself. Okay, maybe you have got things you need to own up to, or and it doesn't have to be to other people. It's just like, personal things. Have you been holding back? Have you been delaying something? Have you been dragging your feet with a particular subject because you've just become apathetic about something? Do you need to shape up in certain areas? Seven of Cups often denotes confusion around certain things, having to make decisions, or there's too many choices to make, or there's just too many things going on. It also shows a lot of emotion attached here, so emotional things happening. But this is about revealing certain things and things coming to light. So eventually you'll know what to do. It will bring some shifts, even if it's also personally that you need to shift and change yourself and get your priorities straight, or whatever it is. Or once you've dealt with the situation, you feel like you can get back on track. But this ultimately is a good thing. It's a symbolic death, masks coming off, things being resolved, and you eventually making the right choices, coming to the right conclusions, or being happy with a particular decision that you've made. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys for the week ahead. I wish you a wonderful one. Please take it easy and be good to yourself and to others. And I'll chat to you all again soon. Bye for now.